Hey guys, Dalia Abdalla here. So today is day two, oh, two, not four, two of vlogging. And so I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with this. I mean, I'm on camera usually all the time because of my Facebook Lives in my Facebook group. But somehow this feels a little different. So anyway, I want to tell you what I was working on today. Today's Friday, first of all, hooray! And I decided to do a little of everything. The biggest thing I did was contact my photographer. I use a photographer for major projects that I need, not for small things, but for major ones. And I want to up my website and email marketing game. Let me explain, and potentially social media. So I personally like to create stock photos, my own stock photos, and I like to then use them for multiple occasions throughout the year. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, I'm interested in doing this. What do you think? She's like, great, I'm all for it. I said, perfect. I want these stock photos to go around certain themes. I'll explain to you guys in a second. And I want to put that list together, share it with you, and of course you can provide me a quote and then we can move forward. She said, perfect. So the idea here is, guys, I want to create stock photos that I'm able to use in Photoshop my designs on. So it would of course, let me see if I have a note card. Okay, so I have this pink sheet. Oh, actually, I don't think you can tell that's pink. This is a pink sheet, right? It's a darker pink. There it is. So I have this pink sheet, and the idea is she would create, stock images, all right? She would have my note card here. Sorry, I can't hold this correctly. My note card here, and then some props on the side, right? It looked better. It would look better than this. And she would have these blank note cards, and I'm able to Photoshop some designs on there. And I have written a list of themes or looks that I want. So I'm having her create several different photos. So here's an example, and I'll tell you how I'll be using them. So I am creating stock photos. The themes are kids. So we're going to have boys type, a girls one, and neutral. So, for the boys, some boy masculine elements, and the girls, some feminine elements. And for the neutral, the colors and such will be also, will be neutral. So the idea is I would have these photos. Imagine I did one of each. One boy, one girl, and one neutral. And the idea is I would use it on, for example, my website. And, I'm changing around my website very soon. Not my handmade mastermind, but my e-commerce. And I would, let's say, for example, when you first enter, you'll see this big image with like shop note card, shop this, whatever. It'll just depend on the time of year. If I want to do something with kids related, I would use this stock photo she created me to Photoshop some designs on it. So for example, let's say we're in the middle of back to school, pretty much. School has started several weeks ago where I am. And, if I want to do a back to school type of, main page for my website, I would take one of those. For example, let's say the neutral, because it's for boys and girls, and I would Photoshop a design for like cute boys note cards and some cute girls ones. Just an example. And because of my design I'm having her do, like the stock photo, I might have like a stock photo with one blank note card, or two, or three. So I'm able to use this for multiple different things. So if I want to show a collection, let's say the mermaid collection, right, for kids or for girls or whatever, I'm able to show the note card and the matching birthday invite. So I'll have two in there. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to think of the uses that I'll be needing these for on my website, in my email marketing, and potentially social media, and then create collections around them. So I have thought about kids stuff. Then I thought about, where is it here? Back to school. So back to school is definitely different from kids in the sense that you'll have more, I guess, back to school supplies in there, crayons and things like that. I'm only doing one photo each, one neutral, one boys, and one girls. The neutral one is really going to be, I think, more adultish, so for like teacher related, potentially. I haven't thought it through yet. So those will also be used in my my website during back to school, during teacher appreciation weeks, right? Those are the end of school, because for gifts, potentially depending on how they look like. for graduation. I mean, I plan this around my email marketing campaigns. So if you're not a business that does back to school, then you can't use this list, obviously, right? But think about it in your own way. So so I did that for back to school. Again, potentially graduation. However, for graduation, I may also be able to use another theme that I wrote for her. One of them is some really general ones, masculine and feminine, and then gender neutral. So masculine, of course, we might have some dark colors, some, you know, well, depends on what you feel is more masculine, but elements that are not so girly, if you will. And while people could be using pinks and all this stuff for boys, and that's fine, a lot of times people, you know, people associate blues and things like that with boys, and then pinks and such with girls. So that's what I'm trying to say. So I'll have some photos that are masculine. Again, combination of 1 card, 2 card, and 3 blank cards. Again, nicely, you know, put together with props and everything. And I could be using those, like the masculine ones, for several things. Father's Day, I could be using them for graduation potentially, because graduation, even though not only boys graduate, obviously, but I also think about graduation. The time I send email campaigns, I think about people also buying these for thank you notes for the people that interviewed them, future employers, and things of the sort. I do have, oh wait, where's my pen? I forgot to write one down. I do get a lot of business. I get a lot of business type of clients that want their logo on stuff or corporate gifts, things like that. So I'm gonna have her do a professional line. I'm not sure how that will look like, but she's really great, my photographer. I tell her and she gets my vision. Absolutely love it. So so again, I said feminine. So those I'll be using, those photos I'll be using for my email campaigns on my website. I'll be using it for Mother's Day. Can you imagine what I could be doing? Like Mother's Day and Father's Day are very, very big holidays for my business. So I could be using those stock photos to show off my new Mother's Day items, new Father's Day items, whatever. Okie dokie. So general is just general. I could probably use it throughout the year from general sale things or showing my new collections that I just did, whatever. So this is what I did. I created this list, and my final list is on my other computer, and this one is just like handwritten. Nobody's Lauren Sanders, by the way. This is just an example notepad. Anyway, so I did a few of these, and the idea is I would take these, and it looks like I'm probably going to do around 50 stock photos. Oh, hold on. My phone is, I should put my phone on silent. I was looking about to do 50 stock photos, probably a little bit less, we'll see. And again, I want to be able to use these throughout the year for website, right? And think about all the graphics you use on your website. When you first enter your e-commerce website, mine or yours, it doesn't matter, right? You don't have to have graphics, but I'm just saying photos are really nice, and you know, all websites are not going to look the same. But I imagine, and I can do this in several different ways, I imagine my website, when you first enter it, right now you'll see a big, at the time of recording, you'll see a big graphic that shows you to sign up for my email list to get percentage off. However, that may change a little bit, where here's the website, okay, and then my header is here with my categories, etc. But right below it, okay, I can't even I can't talk while I'm looking at myself in the camera. Okay, half of the website will be a box, and that has a graphic for email sign up. The other half will be 3 boxes for those major categories. Let's say shop Mother's Day. Let's say if Mother's Day is around the corner. If Mother's Day is around the corner, that means potentially, when's Mother's Day? May? So potentially, wait, is it May or is it March? Okay, skip that example. Let's do Father's Day, because Father's Day is right next to the end of school and graduation gifts. So we'll probably have like a little Father's Day graphic with one of these stock photos that I'm using. Another one would be, one second, Father's Day graphic, graduation, and maybe like teacher, you know, thank your teacher appreciation gifts, whatever. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm able to use these stock photos, adjust them, crop them, etc. So then I could add text to them, potentially, nothing crazy, but just to get my point across, to make it visually appealing, to make my website, to really like step it up. So how do I step up my website game? This is it, you know, and my email marketing campaign. So I could use these as well for email marketing, and you name it. You could probably, you know, you could probably easily see how I'm going to use it. When it comes to Mother's Day promotions, I'll be using my Mother's Day one. my more feminine ones, or even I have a list here of Valentine's Day / romantic ones. So you might see some more flowers and things like that. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'll be using these throughout the year in both. Now I could definitely have these graphics lend itself to be used in social media. However, when I post in social media, which I rarely do at the moment because I just don't have time, I'm so busy. But when I do up my social media game, I suspect that a lot of my current photos is what I would want to share, let's for example, on Instagram and potentially on Facebook. I think it's a different type of platform. While I think that I could use these stock photos and show a collection, I'll say 2 or 3 or whatever I Photoshop on there. Well, I think that's great. I have slight different intentions for, you know, my social media growth on Instagram and Facebook. But either way, I'm sure I could still use these in some way, you know. So I'm really excited about this. I'm finishing out my list as we speak. I'm just kind of refining it because the moment I send it over and she quotes me and I agree to it and she gets her photos to me and I approve, it's done. Like, I spent so much money, I'll make sure that everything I need is done. You know, everything I need is, you know, laid out easily for her. I don't want to have to bother her and go back and forth. So this planning stage for me is really, really important. Now, this is going to cost me quite a bit of money, as you can expect or suspect, and why I prefer, you know, why I prefer not to spend any money at all. I do know that this money I'm spending is, while ups my game on my website, email marketing, it will make me money. Let me explain. And this works for you as well. It makes me money because when somebody enters my website, they need to know and they have to feel like they trust me. They trust me, they trust my brand. It has to look professional. When I have these type of graphics, especially with a photographer, I mean, I could, listen, if I had a moment in time, I could probably create my own stock photos, okay? But I just don't have a moment, period. But either way, I hired her because she's a professional photographer, and I worked with her many times before, and she just knows what she's doing. And that message, my customers will see it on my website and in email marketing. Email marketing for me is, I've already gained the following of people, like, so they already know me, love me, they join my email list, they expect to hear from me every so often throughout the year. But here's where that's very important. I want them to also convert and buy after they open my email. But here's where it's more important. It's more important when it comes to my website, in my opinion, because a lot of times I get a lot of, I get a lot of people coming from my Etsy and Amazon, like customers that find my .com, which is great. But I also, and they kind of already know me, they bought from me, they trust me already. But I get a lot of Google traffic, Pinterest traffic, etc. They don't quite know me. And this is impression, like an impression on them. You guys heard of the saying, first impressions, right? Or whatever the saying is. First impressions really matter. Sometimes they really shouldn't, because some people have really great things to offer if their website is not like top notch. But it's just human nature. You have to understand that I have to spend this money to create these stock photos in order to make sure that in turn people trust me. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff, first impression, etc. And I'll make money. If I wasn't as professional, if I didn't have such great photos, period, let's say in my shop, period, do I think I'd be making as much money as I do now? I honestly don't think so. I think my photos are very realistic and attractive and etc. And I think it's part of the brand. Anyway, so the reason I also wanted to get her involved, again, I don't have the time to do the stock photos myself, but I also, it's a little harder, I would say, to do colored backgrounds. So, for example, oh my God, this is a really large stack here. So this is this like fuchsia type of pink color, right? And these are technically would be my background colors. I'm gonna narrow them down. I'm not gonna send her like 50 different colors. This is like this light baby blue, can be used for several different things. And sometimes it can be very hard to photograph and get the colors right. We all know. And yes, I could play around with Photoshop and my lighting, and I could probably get it. So, and I have actually. I've taken my own notepad photos, and they came out great. It just takes a lot of work. And the one I had the most trouble with photographing is this navy. It's kind of bright on the screen right here, but it's not that bright. It's actually, yeah, it's actually darker in person. So that's what I had trouble with. And I just rather just give it to her to deal with, or to do. I have, again, I'm not sure if you could tell in the lighting, but it's a gray, which is nice for like professional and, you know, kind of professional stationery, corporate type of stationery. We'll see. I got this beautiful eggplant color. It looks blue on the screen, but it's actually a deep purple. So I'll be sending her several of these so then she can place them and then take photos on them. I'm kind of excited to see, not kind of excited, I'm very excited to see what comes of it. And what I love about my photographer is that she'll start with several photos first. She's not going to do the whole thing then show it to me. She's going to start with like several, like a grouping, right? 5, 6 of them, maybe 7. And to make sure that we both have the same vision, right? Before she continues. And of course, then she'll provide me much more photos than I want, okay? And then I narrow down to the final ones that I want. And then I pay her for those, you know? And if I wanted 50 and I end up taking more, she's fine with that. But obviously she already took the photos. And if I wanted more, I should be happy to do more. So I'm really excited about this because, I don't know, it makes like the current stock photos I have, I think they're great. I think sometimes I am trying to pull teeth, trying to find ones that are right for the occasion, Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever. Especially ones like, I'm a stationery designer, so I need to find ones that have stationery in them. Simple as that. So I'm also having her take photos of my luggage tags. They're very big business for me. Well, when I say big, I don't mean that big, but they're fairly big, especially for kids. Backpack tags, especially during back to school, travel time, etc. So I'm having her take those photos, and then I'm having her take sets. So I'm having her take a notepad and a note card, however she positions it. So like showing people sets, you know? So I'm really excited about this because, I don't know, it's like artwork. When she gives me those photos, guys, it's like, they're so beautiful. She just knows what she's doing, period. Anyway, so that's what I'm excited about. I didn't work on that all day. I worked on that a portion of the day. I've been working with my assistant for a big portion of the day. She is currently uploading items to my .com. We've had items kind of sitting on the back burner that were not uploaded to my .com because of how busy we were. Which, by the way, knock on some wood. I don't have real wood here, but this is great, right? I'm too busy to keep up. Nonetheless, I have to still figure out plans to keep up. Because if customers go to my website and go, I can't find this design you have on your Etsy shop, what the hell? My website should be my first priority, right? So, however, listing is not particularly hard on my .com. It's just much more steps. So I taught her that, and literally after every single listing, I'm auditing, I'm double checking everything is right. After she finishes the whole day of pretty much doing things perfectly on my listings, my .com. One second, what time is it? Make sure I'm not, okay. Then she'll be able to do it on her own without me looking at it. Now, I'll probably still will have my hand in the SEO part because, you know, Google SEO, I mean, even Etsy SEO, Amazon SEO, I just have to have my hand in it. You know, I taught her, she's been learning SEO for maybe several months. And while some people can really catch on very quickly, and she's been doing very well, I still have been, this is my like field of expertise. Like, I need to make sure I have the final say. Unless you have several months and months and maybe even year of SEO experience with me, then I still have to look at it, you know. And it's just for the best of my business. I want to make sure I get found in Google, which I am currently. And with the listing that she's putting up, I want to make sure that I'm also still getting found in Google. Anywho, what else? So I've been working with her on that, back and forth. I'm excited because I think by the end of day, well, no, we're pushing it. I'm gonna ask if she could stay later today. If she can, great. If not, no big deal. She'll finish next week. But either way, we'll be finished with the .com one soon. And that means we pretty much have all our SKUs on all platforms. I sell on Etsy, I sell on Amazon, and I sell on .com. Then, as I mentioned in yesterday's vlog, I have a workload now I'm going to be doing, like a work routine I'll be doing. Every Thursdays I'll be designing, and every Friday I should be putting up new products. I'm kind of excited. Again, I keep using the word kinda. I'm very excited about that because, guys, because I'm so busy with Handmade Mastermind and helping you guys out, which I absolutely love, you know that, I have lost touch, not much, but some, with my e-commerce business. And I don't like that. I love stationery. I love coaching. I do think my heart is in coaching a little bit more. You can obviously see that I'm running it more than I am, you know, with my modern pink paper business. But I still want to make sure I'm keeping up with demand. I'm keeping up with trends because, you know, while my heart is still in it and if monitoring paper is still running, customers won't keep coming back if I don't provide new designs for them, you know, provide new designs or provide the trendy ones, or you get what I'm saying? I have to keep up. If I don't keep up, I'm out. And I don't want to be out. So the fact that I lasted this long, to be honest, without having my hand in my business as often as maybe many of you, because I'm sure many of you don't do, you know, your e-commerce as well as something completely different. And well, maybe actually sometimes some of you do, because if you have a full-time job and do this part-time, then yeah, I get it. But it's just hard. So I'm very excited to do this new workload schedule. It will start next week. Today's Friday, obviously, so Thursday's already passed. And I thought of this idea yesterday. I kind of put it like on paper in my Trello account, which is my project management system. And I'm excited to start it next week. In fact, I mentioned yesterday, I also have a Trello board that has laid out all the type of themes I want to work on and the matching items for that theme. So to give you an example, I have thought of mermaid, you know, very hot right now. A lot of things are hot right now. So I will be doing the mermaid stationery. I'll be doing a mermaid invitation, a birthday invitation, a baby shower one. I do research, obviously, to see what's in demand in certain categories. And then I create those products. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I have a method where from start to finish, I could figure out within my market, I could figure out what's in demand, what type of design, what type of product. So even if you're not in like stationery, right? When you create a product, you create variations of that product. So if you're in jewelry, we create variations of jewelry. If you're in, you know, kids clothing, you create variation of kids clothing. You have to know what's trending within that market. So I have a little method I do that it's like from research to like implementation of what is high in demand. How could you find things that are high in demand within your market? And even if you don't have ideas, like I had the idea of a mermaid, because I already know mermaids are trending, but if you don't have ideas of mermaids and things like that, my methods actually teach people how to even figure out methods within your category. So if you're interested in that, I have a link. I'll have a link down below in the description of my courses. Just go to the courses and go to the SEO webinar. It's for Etsy SEO webinar. And within that, in the bonus section, there's a video that helps you with that, like from start to finish. Like it is the exact same method I use. It is amazing. So what I've done ahead of time is I created this whole Trello board with all these themes, literally. And within a theme, so here's a theme, mermaid. Within it, I have thank you card, pretty much stationery, birthday, invite, blah, blah, blah. So when I finish that board is gone. The next one probably would be dinosaur. I probably do have that one, but just an example. And then I'll do my little research again, the thing I pretty much teach in that bonus video. And then I decide what other items are dinosaur related that I make. So I make collections. And then of course, like I said, after Thursday's done, Friday, my assistant goes in and she creates the photos for those items. She lists them in all of the, platforms I sell on. And then she does a couple more things, you know. And when I say list them, I mean, she does everything. She does the SEO, the variations, everything, you know. I've taught her everything. Anyway, guys, so that's the majority of what I'm working on today. And today's Friday, so I don't plan on vlogging on the weekend, and I'll probably be back on Monday. I'm trying to do this thing daily, well, 5 days a week. I'm trying to do it 5 days a week, so we'll see how that goes. But I think it's like a no pressure thing. Like I just sit in here for 15-20 minutes, actually running up to 25 minutes right now, kind of share my day, share what I've been working on, etc., and then end it. Now, some of my vlogs, by the way, guys, will definitely be business related, but some will be personal. I have nothing currently personal to share that I feel comfortable sharing at the moment. But like I mentioned in yesterday's vlog, it'll be things like, you know, things like I'm trying something new with my hair, or just something I'm excited about, something personal. Of course, I will try to share it toward the end, because if you're not interested in hearing anything personal related about me, that's cool. I don't care. Then you could just stop the video after I stop talking about it. But today, nothing personal. Except that we're having friends over very soon for dinner. So we're barbecuing, which is kind of exciting. And that's it. Okay, guys? All right, so I will catch you on Monday. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.